Casey Hasten joins us once again. He's a corporate recruiter to talk about what's going on with the job market and how many people are changing jobs so often these days. Casey, welcome back in. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, it certainly is a employees market out there, isn't it? It seems everybody's jumping, and every manager I've talked to recently has said, yeah, I can get them, but it's tough to keep them these days. So there was a recent, I guess, study done by LinkedIn about how often people are changing jobs. What'd they find?
Well, I'm not sure what LinkedIn found, but I also recently read a study by PwC, one of the big four accounting firms, that said 61% of the workforce is looking for a new job right now. It's incredible.
Yeah, the amount of people that are moving and how quick they're going is just crazy. I saw something here that 25% of these respondents say they hope or plan to leave their current employers within the next 6 months. Another research by Career Builder study found that Gen Z workers spend an average a couple of years and 3 months on the job, and the folks, millennials, 25 to 40-year-olds, staying for just 6 months or more. I mean, is this the new norm? Are managers and employers having to just deal with it? Or, I mean, at what point do they say, why did you change jobs 5 times in the last 6 months?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is definitely the new norm. I mean, even more so than people just moving every 6 months, one of the trends we're seeing right now is that people will accept a new job and then not even start because they get another offer. It's incredible. Yeah,
a friend of mine's got a company here in town, actually, and he was telling me that last week he had 5 interviews set up with 5, different folks to come in and work for his company, and 1 showed up, 4 didn't even bother to say, boo, forget about it, I got another, nothing, heard 0. 1 out of 5 actually showed up for the interviews they had planned.
That is so true. I tell my clients all the time, and when I talk about clients, I'm talking about the companies that I'm engaged with to help find talent for, that our candidates, the talent that they're looking for, have a shelf life of about 48 to 72 hours before they receive an offer, and usually it's multiple offers. It's an incredible, crazy town out there right now.
Well, if you're an employer, then what advice do you have for folks that are looking to find good quality talent?
Oh, well, for sure, speed up your interview process, because if you have an extensive interview process, I have one that it takes about 3 weeks to get through the interview process, you're going to lose that talent. They're going to get an offer before you ever get to like your 3rd or 4th step.
Yeah, I've never really understood, well, you've interviewed with 4 of our people. The other 3 executives still want to talk to you before we bring you on. Is that necessary in today's climate?
I think so. I'm kind of torn on this issue because I definitely want you to find the right talent. And to do that, you need to have those multiple touches. But at the same time, if you connect with that person on the 1st or 2nd interview, I would recommend going ahead and, extending an offer as quickly as possible, or make those multiple touches quicker, because these people are just moving too quick right now.
What seems to be the biggest motivator for somebody to take a job and then leave? I mean, as you're going through the interview process, what does an employer need to say, to the potential employee? Look, we see, and history has shown us over the last year, people are taking jobs and they're leaving really quick. What's going to prevent you from leaving? Is it money? Is it remote working? Is it child care? What seems to be the common denominators that will avoid all this, jumping across the greener pasture fence?
I think it's a mix of all of those things, but I think throughout this pandemic, one of the things that people have really reflected upon is that they want more. So those companies that are calling their workforce back to 100% in office, they're going to lose big time. So It's not just about the money. I mean, the money is important. People are making jumps, don't get me wrong, for money. But the biggest factor that I'm seeing out there is that remote or hybrid scheduling.
You anticipate this is the new norm and will be like this for years to come, or is it going to balance out once we do get through another year potentially of all this?
I think that people have truly seen that the hybrid schedule is something that really works for everyone, especially with the child care. You brought that up, being such an issue because, the child care settings, they're really suffering with getting people to come back to work there as well.
Yeah.
And so because of that, there's limited space for child care, and those rates have gone way up. And so people need that hybrid, that flexibility in order to make it even make sense to go to work, right?
Yeah, right, absolutely. Well, Casey, thanks for your input this morning. Interesting. Casey Hasten, corporate recruiter, on all the job hopping going on these days.